We're away. All right,
Finally.
finally, we have got this one underway. We have got the Belgium Grand Prix ready to go. Apologies for all the technical difficulties.
I need to find you in the space where we collide. I need to find you.
Properly warm his tyres up more than usual. I'm looking at his dash, trying to get an insight into just how warm his tyres are, and they are hovering around the 81s in the degrees, and the temperature is actually a bit lower than that now, 70s, so it might actually be not quite as warm as he wanted.
Yeah, Hammer Time does say that Brownie has got the same set.
So, it's time. It's time. Bennington leading us away at the beginning of this Grand Prix. It's do or die moment for him. Are we going to get the start of champions for Nicky, or is it going to be issues into turn one as the lights go out and it's starting to get underway with the Belgium Grand Prix? And Nickton gets a good start immediately. Nicky's though trying to get alongside, but not quite good enough. You're going to see Lemon and Martin G, lots of movement going on. There's desync that we were reported about earlier. It's the two Mercedes that can't see each other. So if you start seeing a car go flying up in the air, then don't worry about it as it stands. But there's no issues so far as we come up towards Eau Rouge. It's going to be side by side. No, there's a Renault. That's Buemels, but he's kept it together. I don't know how he called that one, but he's actually lost out to Mizzo. Mizzo just slid on past now. Meister getting onto the back of him as well, looking to get the slipstream. Anto all the way down in towards Lacoum. Is he going to be able to get around the outside? I think the answer is going to be a firm no, but we do have all cars still going. He's got three wide actually. Racebug, Blue and Bird actually going three wide, but they've backed out. Blue's got the inside line. He's going to hold it together just about rightly, and he does. So it's Blue now up in a P17. Good stuff from him. No cars DNF on the first lap so far. Big off there. That's massive rotation. Wing damage on the left-hand side. He's got elements missing. He's got end plates missing. He is going to be really in trouble. Actually batting with Copy. He's gone deep there. And actually we've got a driver in the pits already. That's Buemels. Is he going to be going for the dry setup? We'll have to find out, but keep an eye as Yonti is closing up to the back. He's actually gone past them. They're going to be three wide in towards turn one. Yolta's coming in on Copy. We're going to Lacoum. He's going to take the inside line, but he's not going to get it. Copy stays P9. Yolta is trying to size him up still. He has to worry about the cars around him because Yonta is coming on him as well. You got Yon chasing him down too. This could change at the drop of a hat. More drivers coming in for the dry tyres. We've lost Brownie. He's gone off into the wall. That's a big crash on the left-hand side. His front left is completely dead. He is out of this Grand Prix. Yellow flag, no safety car as it stands, and that's your P3 prediction in the bin, or in the wall, literally. Beaker's under threat from Copy, who's really hunting him down. It's going to be a sprint into the pit lane. Beaker's been given a whole free pit stop because he would have been double stacked. Ultimately, they are coming in together. They're going to be side by side coming in for it. Oh, I think Beaker's maybe caught out. He has. He's been hitting the wall, and he's just getting shunted. And he's disqualified. He's been disqualified for blocking the pit lane. Blue blocked stopped to make sure he didn't hit into him. Bird has been given a 5-second penalty as well for colliding with Blue, albeit very gently. And Buemels is going to be double stacking as well. Oh no, he's not double stacking because he's on the mediums. His tyres, this whole situation has just gone out of kilter. But here he is now, the bus stop chicane. We all know where he's going to go for it. He's decided now's the time. Off he goes. Nicky's going to be chasing him as well. Nicky's got the acceleration pinned. Nixon didn't gain anything. We're going to see race leaders change. No. Martin G gets a penalty. That's a 5-second for just cutting the track a little bit too much. I think he cut the inside. He's going to be, I think he's frustrated with himself on that one, but he shouldn't give in because this is still going for him. He still has the opportunity to. But Nicky all over the back of the race leader coming up towards Eau Rouge now. And Nixon's going to be in big trouble because he has not got the acceleration he needed. Nicky on harder tyres. He's going to be really going for it now, looking for the inside in towards Lacoum. He has to back out, and Nixon is just too much faster than him. Is he going to send it? No, he's not. And Nixon holds on. Mizzo, Yonti swap places. Nicky, Lemon swap places. Scrapping side by side. Nicky gets sideways, goes into the side of Lemon, but no damage on either car, and Lemon takes P2. Look at him. Already on the back of Racebug. He's going to be pushing hard. He's going for the move. He doesn't know where to go because Racebug is all over. He's trying to go down the inside now. This is going to be a tie when he's running a little bit deep into the corner, but he's going to go around the outside on the left-hander, and he has to back out, but he could actually go for it. Straight into the inside. Yes, he has. Martin G starts his comeback story. 1 position gain.
That the mediums will be able to last to the end of the race if they do. If people are good on their tyres and they still keep a good distance to the people on the hards, the mediums will be the best strategy right now.
Oh, Blue, sorry, just went a bit deep into the corner. He gave way too much room there to Bird. I think he expected Bird to full on send it, and Bird didn't need to. He just backed off a little bit, let them go for it, and that's what caused that to happen. Little changeroo there. Bird and Blue scrapping one more time in the lead up towards Puon. It looks like Bird has got the inside this time, and Blue, whilst Bird runs a little bit wide, Blue got a tyre line. Not quite severe there for Bird. He's just fine, running away with it okay. P14 as it stands, but still 7.5 seconds separates the car ahead, which is the Rainbow, and Martin G still all over the back of Wemmels.
This should be an easy overtake from Martin G on the straight, but Wemmels is determined not to let him pass.
Well, also, Martin G's in trouble because Rainbow was actually trying to get involved in that situation as well. Wemmels made a mistake. He's ran deep now. Here comes Martin G, but he just can't find a way through. Couldn't take the outside line. We've lost Bird. He's retired in the pits, I think. Oh, Martin G almost goes into the back of the Renault. Keeps himself just outside of it.
They'll be putting pressure onto the back of him, so he does have double trouble behind. Will Rainbow be able to make an overtake? He has to go to the outside. But he does back out. He tries to go to the inside, backs out. And Wemmels, that was a bit of a dive bomb, I may say. Sends himself further on. And I did see some carbon fibre, but from which car was it?
And you can see Copy getting onto the back of Meister. Meister trying to shake him, can't do anything about it. Look how quick Copy is coming into the back of Yolta. Might have to scrap all the way through the corners. It's going to be a side-by-side battle through the inside. He gets him just about, a little bit of contact between the two. Meister just ghosts and still somehow holds Copy back. Essentially, look at Copy this time. Yep, there's no hole in that back. Meister is a sitting duck, and away Copy goes. This time much smoother than we saw last that round. And Nickton realizes the pressure he's under, which is why he's holding the line seriously tight in towards Lake Coombe. Here comes Lemon down the inside. As they come out of it, and Nickton will hold the race lead, and Lemon will have to wait. Yolta and Copy swap places. Copy in P4. This is good stuff from him. At the start of this Grand Prix, I predicted in P3 based on penalties. He has got the raw pace. He has delivered everything today. He got the pole position, even sacrificing his fastest lap, but it doesn't matter because he crosses the line and takes P1. Lemon will take P2. Yonti will cross the line and get the final position of the podium, with Copy across the line and getting P4. It's a great day to be Williams. Yolta will take P5, but lose out to Meister, who jumps him and takes P5. Just Chilling falls down the order and gets P9. And then Martin G gets P7 for now, but as Rainbow will slowly cross line, has he breached the 8-second margin? He hasn't. So Martin G loses out on that final point position, and it's just an unfortunate race for Martin G. There's nothing that he could have done there. He gave everything to pull it back. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back for the Rwagnation League F1 Grand Prix here in the luxurious track, legendary track in Italy, Monza. I'm Ben Raggan McConnell, and joining me on the caster's desk is the legendary Kai Bacchini. How you doing?
I am doing absolutely brilliant, thanks Ben. How are you?
I'm brilliant indeed, because it's this beautiful track with these beautiful drivers. And speaking of, Mizzo is currently topping those standings there with 179 points, and Nickton in second, 163. Then you got Yonti, Wemmels, Martin G, Copy, Yawn, Lemon, Yolta, and Just Chilling. Remember, the top 10 of these drivers go into next season straight away. Those outside of the top 10 they have to work a lot harder to get themselves into it. And we're looking at the likes of Meister, Brownie, Beaker. They know they're 11, 12, and 13. There's a lot of points left to get themselves into that top 10. They've got a lot of work to do too. And you got the likes of Gooby, Rainbow, Blue, Nikki, Racebug, Bird, and Marco, who are still, 2 of which are still yet to get points. Granted, they have joined us partway through the season, so it's a lot harder for them to necessarily do it. But you'll see they can still compete for the constructor standing. So Mercedes currently topping that with 295 points. Williams there in second with 238. Then McLaren in third, 184. Then Haas, then Renault, then Alfa Romeo, then Ferrari, then Toro Rosso, then Racing Point, and then the Bulls there in P10. Here's the track that they're going to be duking out today on this fine Saturday evening. Softs, mediums, hards as normal, 2 DRS zones, lots of slipstream, lots of DRS overtaking opportunities, and still so many chicanes. Here are the main action points. You're going to have the likes of Ascari, where we saw in the European Racing Series, Duxby and Tompa had a really tough battle through side by side all the way out, in fact, towards it. And then you got the run up towards Parabolica, where we saw Yawn and Copy going all the way around. If you look, you can't see it because the actual image is there, but this was on the final lap, and Yawn managed to just snatch P2 away from Copy. It was incredible scenes. Make sure you go back and watch it. But now we have the hot lap of this exact track, led by our glorious house driver, Yonti. So this is the DRS straight running down the home straight all the way down to turn 1. Very hard braking zone. Get down in towards gear 2, just clip the inside curb, then get on through turn 2. Get a really solid exit because you've got a very long run. You're going to be full throttle throughout the remainder of this corner. You will not be backing out anytime soon at all. And you got to make sure you keep it still relatively tight, because you're going to be on the right hand side into another chicane, another hard braking zone. Clip that curb. Don't want to run too tight on the exit because you need to get a really good line throughout. Brake just after the 50-meter board. Get yourself down to gear 4, maybe even gear 5 if you're feeling a bit more confident. Second Lesmo here. Brake not too much because you need to get a really solid run, because we are now at the second DRS zone of this track. This is under a beautiful little run through all the trees and leaves and the shadows and whatnot. And then you got the famous Ascari corner. You got to brake hard. Make sure you don't run too deep into any of the corners, because if you get even slightly wrong, you will lose not just time, potentially even lose your car. And then again, another run all the way down towards Parabolica, the final corner of this track. This is going to be a make or break for some of the drivers, because the exit here is crucial, as you'll start the DRS straight just after the start line, and hopefully you will be ending this race in some points position. So, with the qualifying is now underway, let's get on with it. And Kai, straight off the bat, what's your top 3 for qualifying?
Oh, this is a difficult one. It's hard. The likes of Mizzo, Copy, they've been really quick this season. Beaker, he's been unfortunate so far this season, but we know he's quick around Italy, so I'll be hopefully expecting something from him. But it'll be interesting to see these drivers. I'm going to say Nixon, Copy, and for an outside bet, if he keeps it on track, Beaker in third.
See, I wish Beaker was able to do what he needs to do. The problem is, there are some drivers on this track that are just phenomenal. I'm looking at the likes of Lemon, for example. He has, we looked at Belgium last week. You saw the highlights. He did an exceptional job to get P2. And Nickton did an even better job, though, to keep hold of P1. And they were going toe-to-toe throughout the entirety of the Grand Prix, and it was so good to see. And I think we're going to see more of it here. The problem with this one is it's a very strategic attack because of the fact that you have the DRS straight on the home straight. So you have to think a lap ahead, really. You can't sort of leave it till the very last lap and then go for it all guns blazing. You can do it on that run up towards Ascari, but it can all change at the drop of a hat. Having said that, I think a Nickton will actually get pole today. He has some sort of sixth sense when it comes to this track. He just does some next level racing. It's incredible. So I think a Nickton will take P1. This is a track where the Williams can give each other the toe, and I think they probably will when it comes to later on in the stage of the session. So I think Copy might actually make it into the top 3, but I think Lemon will be a little bit faster than him. So my final top 3 is going to be Nickton, Lemon, then Copy.
Yeah, I didn't see Lemon's name there, but yeah, we know he's especially quick on one lap pace, and we know he's quite consistent, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting one today. A beautiful track, looks like beautiful conditions. We don't know about the race though, and just a great track overall, lots of history, and let's see if we can make some history today.
Indeed. So softs, mediums, hards are available. And in terms of strategy, we're going to probably be seeing softs to mediums realistically, because there's not actually that many areas of the track where you have a lot of grip requirements. Obviously the main ones are going to be Ascari and and Parabolica, I guess, but that's pretty much it. Even the Parabolica is not that big. You still have to slow down quite considerably. This is the area of the track where you're going to be needing it the most, especially on that runoff there, because you're just asking so much from the car to maintain the pace throughout. So you can push the tyres pretty far. I think that we will probably be seeing softs to mediums, but those outside of the top 10 may choose to go for the hards. Not the most ideal option, just purely based on how hard it is to take these tyres too far in. Ooh, and Nickton's not happy with his lap, straight into the pits. But Jorn, the only driver to set lap time, and a very respectable time that is indeed. Look at that, 1:19.221.
Yeah, that is a very good time. Very early in the session though, which is very disturbing because you have to do an extra lap to come into the pits. But with the pace that Jorn throws down, you'd easily expect him to be that time.
Yep, definitely. I think we're going to be seeing a fair few 118s. Oh, Nicky's just backed out of the lap, not happy with that, and however that felt for him. Where's Lemon? I want to see Lemon. Oh, he's just across the line. There he is, 1:24.903. So clearly wasn't happy with his lap, backed out and reset, whereas Mizzo is staying committed to this one. This might be a 118, might be the first one. It's not, but it is the fastest. It's a 1:19.172 for that McLaren driver. I don't know if we're going to be seeing... We might... You know what? This is actually a track that would promote the McLaren flick. I don't know if you remember that. It was actually Mizzo that delivered that, where he made it look like he was going to go down one way and then just completely flicked at the very last second. And he managed to just snatch that position away. This is a track that promotes that move. I think Mizzo will probably do that at least once or twice here. Oh, Copy actually giving Yonti a bit of a toe there. That is not something you see very often.
Yeah. Well, it will be a very interesting race. You say, yeah, toe in quali, as we saw in real life, toe in quali it can gain you a lot of time. And that's why in the real life, seen the drivers. Oh, sorry.
No, that's all right. Just Marco. He's been disqualified for going the wrong way. That's out of the second Lesmo. So Marco will not get to set a time on the board. Will have to start dead last. I mean, that's where they are in the constructors as well. And both the Red Bull drivers, remember, they did join the league midway through because the drivers that were in the Red Bull team did leave due to other commitments. But Martin G, 1:19.169, 0.03 of a second faster, and then Nicky just goes and smashes it, 1:19.152. So whilst he wasn't happy with that lap time earlier, clearly he's happy now.
Yeah, you'd think all these drivers, I think we should easily see some 118s. But you said you'd see. But Ben, around what lap do you think we'll be seeing the drivers pitting?
If they go softs to mediums, then realistically you're looking at sort of probably say pit lap 11 maybe, and then take the mediums all the way around. But honestly, it could vary depending on just how hard you push on your lap times, and if you're not very good at managing tires in general anyway. Because if you come into Lesmos and make mistakes and run deep and lock the tires up in the braking zones, especially in the run up towards turn 1, it's very easy for you to just rip that tire wear apart. And if you do that immediately, you're gonna have to look into pitting a little bit earlier than normal, maybe even having to go into the hard tires, although the mediums do last quite a long time here. I mean, Gooby's out there in the minute just doing some hard runs at the minute. 1:21.0 is what he's done previously, which is actually really quite a solid time considering he's on that hard compound. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think around about lap 12ish.
Yeah, and as you were saying, we currently have 119.1s. I think we're going to see mid or low 118s, because that's what we're saying. That looked like a pretty smooth Ascari from a Nickton. Will he improve on his time? Well, of course he will, because he hasn't set a time yet. As he comes around the final corner, comes onto the straight. What is he going to do? He's going to cross the line, and it is a 118.7. That's insane. Very early for those insane times.
We've still got 10 minutes left of track evolution yet, and he's chucking in 118.7s. I couldn't even dream of getting a 118. I'm so far away from being at that level of pace, and he's just cruised that in there with 10 minutes to go. That's absolutely exceptional stuff. I want to see that more often from you at Nick Turn, especially if you can maintain those race wins like you did last week. Give it everything. And Jon, another driver who has got the one-shot lap pace, has also got the race pace, but just seems to lack a little bit of consistency. It's not a great deal because he's still very quick in general, but, you know, I really think that Jon has what it takes to be able to get himself into a race win position. I think this might be the track he could do it in, but I don't know. Qualifying is going to really dictate how well his race goes, I think.
Yeah, I really do hope Bjorn goes well. 'Cause he's very quick and he's passionate about what he does. He's just been quite unfortunate throughout the season, and he hasn't really been getting the best results. He's quick, and we've seen some decent results from him, but will this track be one where he can pull it out of the bag?
Well, come around the final corner, up towards the start line, but he has already gone into mode 0, so he's going to be abandoning his lap and going into the pits. Copy is, I think, about to start a hot lap. Might actually be finishing a hot lap. This isn't going to be that fast, though. No, he's definitely backed out, so yeah, coming into the pits. No lap time on the board for him. Mizzo is on a hot lap, however, going through first Lesmo, up towards the second Lesmo. We haven't got Beaker on a hot lap yet. And he's done one already. 119.609 was what he did. He got Brownie there, 119.993. So the gap is a little bit large, if you like, between the two, 3/10. But I mean, we're talking 3/10. That's just insane that we're in that sort of scenario where we can talk about, oh, okay. I think the Ferrari drivers are going to give each other a toe. I think they're going to try this. I don't think they've ever tried this before. I think they're in a position where they could actually do this very comfortably.
Yeah,
Let's see if Beaker moves out of the way.
Yeah, it does look like they're in a good position to give each other the toe. But are they purposely doing it? Beaker, will he get out of the way before the corner? No, he won't. So it looks like they're both pushing on a lap.
Yeah, I mean, they might just carry on running like this anyway, because ultimately this is what it's going to be like when it comes to chasing a driver in the race. Obviously, the dirty air is going to be a lot worse for Brownie, but if Brownie doesn't get affected by the dirty air, which I thought he had then, but no, he's doing really well. Beaker's had a wobble there, so Beaker might abandon this lap and just give Brownie the toe right down into Ascari. Don't be surprised if you see Beaker just suddenly run off when we get to the end of it. It's whether or not he can maintain that, but look, here he is. I think this is going to be a really stellar time here from Brownie. This could be new pole.
This could be a good lap.
Oh no! I think he's just invalidated. I think he may have just invalidated. He looked like he cut that pretty severely. Mode 0, he's validated. Yeah. That was so sad. He was so close to getting it. Beaker's actually on an out lap now, it says, but he was definitely not. Into the pits. No, he's going for it. All right. Off he goes. So that was a 119.3 that he's done. He's just improved. He's now backed out. Yeah, that was sad because Brownie could have easily smashed that time. Had he not made that mistake, that was his.
Yeah, do you think it would have been quick enough to go pole position though?
I think it was a 118. I don't think it was a 118.7 area. I think we were talking sort of 118, maybe 118.8 in the high 118.8s. Yeah. But still, I mean, we're still talking ridiculous pace, ridiculous times. And Bird, who's actually had issues in the past with his pedals, I'm told he's now fixed them. Oh, I think he's also just invalidated. No, he's actually all right. Okay. So Bird looking pretty solid here in the run up towards the final corner. Is Bird going to be able to set himself quite far up the field? His teammate is going to be disqualified, remember, because he was driving the wrong way on the track. Not intentionally. It looked like he just had a mistake. Coming out second Lesmo, and off he went. Comes across the line. He goes P11. So 119.451. A really good, solid time for him. But it's only going to take 2/10 for him to jump 3, maybe even 4 places.
Yeah. And I think we will see a very close quali between these guys. We know that they're all very quick, and some of the quickest, well, definitely within the top 100 in the world, quite a few of these drivers. And I think it'll be interesting to see these drivers progress throughout the seasons.
I mean, just imagine being so fast that you're in the top 1% of the world, right? That's just phenomenal. And a lot of these guys are in that top 1% in the world category. The amount of times I keep getting these screenshots of their lap times sent to me, and they go, "Look how amazing I am! Look how fast I am!" And I'm like, I can't even dream of having your pace. Like, it's just insane. Speaking of which, Nick Turn is out on track at the minute, although he's backed out of his lap. I think he's actually got... Oh, he's getting a toe. This is it. This is the Williams toe that we were talking about before. So Copy's ran deep. Yeah, we're not really bothered about that because he's not doing anything. I think he's giving Copy the... Yeah, he was giving Copy the run. Rainbow's retired. Where's that?
I can't really see where it is. I don't know where, but... So he must have hit the wall somewhere.
Interesting. Okay, well, that's the end of Rainbow's qualifying. He hasn't got a time on the board and will be... Oh, I think he actually has a quali ban, which would explain it. So, never mind. Blue out on a hot lap at the minute in the run-up towards Ascari. Let's see if we can get a sector time from him. Let's work out how far down or up he is. 2/10 up, so that's good. He's looking better than his last time. Oh, big wobble coming out of it. 2/10 won't really move him anywhere. That's going to just keep him exactly where he is, behind his teammate. But it's still an opportunity for him to potentially improve, especially if he improves in the final sector. But he will need to be a god tier third sector if he wants to be able to get himself right up the board.
Yeah, and it's starting to come to that point which you like to call the storm. So all the drivers getting themselves ready for their final run. I think we will see them going out very soon.
We will indeed. I mean, Mizzo's out there in a minute. Maybe a little bit too early. 3 minutes remaining of the session. You know, that's still a fair bit of track evolution that you could get your hands on, if you like. Mizzo, though, coming through the second last move. Ooh, a little bit wobbly, but still pretty fast. Up towards Ascari. Needs to get a really solid run. Cannot afford to make a mistake here if he wants to get this solid run, because if he does, that's the end of his qualifying, and he's going to finish P7. That's not the Mizzo that we know and love. We know Mizzo is way faster than that. That was a very clean Ascari, though. So, final corner. Let's see what he can do. 2 minutes 30 remaining of the session. He could still technically pit and get out. He would have to be very, very fast, though, to do that. Is he going to pit? I get the impression no, because he seems to be on an absolute tear right now, and he is. Look at that. 1:18.755. Provisional pole will go to the McLaren driver as it stands, but we are not yet on the final cusp of this race. 2 minutes left of the session means that there is still time for any of these drivers who are still in the pits to come out and nail it home. We've got our eyes set on it at Nick Turn. We've got our eyes set on this man here, Lemon, who's currently working his way through turn 4 and 5 to deliver a really quick time.
Yeah, and it's going to be really interesting. He has all the pressure on his shoulders. All he has to do is get a decent lap and try and get that pole position. We know he's quick around this track. We know he's quick on one lap pace. He comes up to Ascari. Will it be a smooth one, though? Let's watch on board with him on my screen. As he comes through Ascari, he uses the right amount of curve, takes it in 5th gear, and that looked pretty smooth to me. What do you think the finishing time's going to be, though?
I think this is pole. I think he's snatching away from Mizzo here. He looks just so comfortable. Watch, as he comes through the corner, he's got everything nailed perfectly. Look, no issues at all. Although that is not pole. That's 2.6 seconds down. So this is his hot lap. That's why. Never mind. That was not pole.
Yeah. That makes more sense.
We got Jabade. I think he backed out on like the final straight because he looked like he was absolutely going for it up until that point. JC, though, he is holding that 10th spot down very securely. He's actually looking pretty good overall, to be honest. I mean, he's sat right there in P9 as it stands in terms of the hot lap pace. I'm just wondering whether or not he's actually going to be able to maintain that. 32 seconds remaining in the session. Mizzo's done 2 laps on those softs. He needs to stop driving on those tyres, otherwise he runs that risk of completely shredding them. Martin G has just started his hot lap coming through turn 1 and 2. Pretty solid run there. That's McLaren, I believe. Yeah, Mizzo just getting out of the way. So yeah, he knows he's got to stop driving on them, otherwise he's going to end up with no tyres to go on. And like we were saying earlier, if you run your tyres a little bit too deep in the actual race, there's a very good chance that you could actually have to put yourself in a pit stop the way you come in a bit earlier, and you definitely do not want that.
Yeah, and you don't want to come in an early pit. Yeah, sometimes the the undercut can be quicker, but you definitely don't want too much of an undercut because that can cost you some time.
Now, I just want to point out, though, if you look at the current times, Lemon's actually just improved. He's gone P3, but not quite quick enough. If you look at the gap, the top 14 are all within 7/10 of each, in total. That's insane. And if you look at the top 4, they're not even a 10th separated. That's so close between them. But we do need to keep our eyes firmly locked on the Williams drivers. So Copy, I believe, is the one in front. Yes, he is. Copy is very good, looking hot. And Nickton, our fuel. So he can improve. So Mizzo might actually take pole here. Martin G's crossed the line, so he's not actually going to be improving. Copy might be able to take this away, though. Is it going to be enough? It's not going to be enough. It is improvement, but not enough. Wemmels goes P6 right now. So good stuff from him. Anyone else able to improve? Nick turn. He's crossed the line. He's done and dusted. Mizzo's also run out of fuel. Gooby, he's on a hot lap at the minute. Is he going to be able to bring himself into the top 10? Raceberg coming round. He's going to be pulling himself into the pits, so he's not going to be able to do anything about it. Yawn, where are you? You are in the pits as well, so you're done and dusted. P7 is all now. Just watching Gooby as he comes up to the finish line. But yeah, his time is just not going to be anywhere near enough. So P13 is where he finishes. And that's the end of the qualifying session. Mizzo with a last-ditch attempt. And he did it 3 minutes remaining from the session. He chucked in a 1:18.755. But again, look at the gap to leader. All the way down. So now from P1 down to P15. We are seeing 5.5 tenths separating the whole grid. That's insane.
Yeah. That's nothing. And that's ridiculous pace.
That's literally, yeah, half a second is all that is separating the entire grid bar Racebook, Rainbow, and Marco. How do they ever? I can't even think about doing a lap that, these guys battling so close on a track like this where you've got slipstream, you've got DRS, you've got so many opportunities to just absolutely gun it through the corners and potentially go side by side and beat drivers. This is about to be an incredible race. But here is the rundown at the end of qualifying. So Mizzo is going to be your pole sitter with 1:18.755. Nickton in P2, Lemon P3, Martin G P4, Copy P5, Wemmels P6, Yon P7, Yonti P8, Nicky P9, Brownie P10, and the best of the rest is Bird in P11. JC in P12, Gooby P13, Beaker P14, Beaker... Oh yes, the Beaker P14, Blue P15, yep. Racebook P16, Rainbow, who didn't get a time in, and Marco, who got disqualified from the session. Now, I have a suspicion that we are needing to rehost. Let me just double check. Yonti's game crashed.
You can get invited back though, Connie.
They're making a decision. Oh, it's wet.
Oh,
okay.
Martin G did say he had a wet setup on.
Yeah,
so
he did.
He might actually be good.
That's mental. That's okay. I didn't see that. I didn't know that was happening. We never even pictured that. These guys were chucking in 1:18s left, right, and center, and we were thinking, oh well, then clearly it must be a dry race because there should be no way that this could be a wet race, right? And
it's not that wet though.
I mean, it's wet enough for you to be on inters though, surely. And if it does progress into proper wets, this could be pretty bad for everybody. So we're waiting to just confirm how about. Yep, there is going to be need to be a rehost. They are not in the session. There's 18 drivers. We are missing. Yeah, P8 and P10.
Yep.
So yeah.
Which is Raven Duck.
Okay,
one of them is Raven Duck.
Fingers crossed we don't have a repeat of last week. So bear with us. We're going to be very swiftly getting this rehosted, resorted, and then we should be able to get cracking. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back and hopefully underway. I'm crossing my toes, I'm crossing my fingers. We don't have a repeat of what we had last week with the technical difficulties, but I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to hope and pray that everything goes through okay. So,
Yes.
Italy Grand Prix. I'm told it's going to go from light rain to dry, so this could be the reason why the drivers went for their dry setups. Would explain a lot why we were seeing the times that we were seeing. It was exceptionally close overall in the qualifying, which was just beautiful to see from our aspect. Obviously, the drivers right now are going to be putting their setups back on. They will also be looking at the fuel situation, the strategy situation, how they want to play this out. Obviously, there's going to be intermediates at one point. Up to a certain point, and then they're going to be switching over to whatever tyre they feel is right. Either the mediums or softs, whatever. Ideally, that's probably going to be the one of the tyre they want to go onto, but it also depends on how long the rain stays out for. If the rain doesn't stay out long enough, we may see some guys go to the hards. We may see some guys go to the mediums and just try and ride them out. Or if the rain takes us far enough that we can actually get straight onto the mediums and maybe even go to the softs, that would be a very exceptional risk. So, Kai,
Yes.
hold on. Okay, we're looking good. This is good news. This is good news. We have everybody away on the formation lap. Everybody's on intermediate tyres. Now, the question is for you, Kai, is the top three at the end of this Grand Prix, what have you got?
I'm going to say Martin G is definitely going to be in the top three. Purely because he has a wet setup, and I don't think that anyone else does.
Okay. I think Martin G could actually pull... I mean, the thing is... Oh, I say that. Is that Lemon? That is Lemon. Lemon's had a really bad off there. I'm curious to see how long this rain stays out. If the rain stays out long enough, I think Martin G might actually run away with this. If it dries up relatively quickly, or even like a quarter of the way into the race, I think Martin G will drop quite suddenly, and I think he may end up just hanging on for sort of P7 area, maybe even P8, depending on if he even gets penalties, right? Now, Nickton, incredibly fast. I never want to take anything away from him when it comes to that regard, because he is, but I have seen him get plenty of penalties in previous races. Although, having said that, he has kept himself on a clean sheet when it comes down to records of penalties, right? I've not seen him, recently at least, getting penalties very often. Don't want to jinx him. I know how I've done that plenty of times, especially to the man I'm on board with right now, that is Lemon. But I think a Nickton might actually be able to take the win if he can remain consistent. So I'm going to go at Nickton, Mizzo, Lemon.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with that one.
All right, well, they are working their way back up to the grid. Obviously, the AI is now taken over. Marco, a few others actually have already reset to the track. That's Beaker, Gooby, Blue, and Marco. And it's obviously going to be coming in now. There's Mizzo and Lemon. There's the beautiful crowd, all very happy and enjoying this, praying for the Ferraris to win today. And it's not looking too hopeful. Currently starting P10 and P14. You'd have thought Beaker, with him being... This is his favourite track. You'd have thought he would be able to deliver something extraordinary. But no, here we go. So the lights are coming on. And we got yellow flag sector 1. That's hopefully nothing to worry about. It's away we go. So the Italian Grand Prix has managed to get underway. The yellow flag has been removed. Racebook is apparently P1. I think that's the only real issues that we're experiencing. But we are seeing, if you're coming towards turn 1, the Mercedes and the McLaren drivers are going side by side and toe to toe. And everything seems to be just about okay. But Mizzo's on the inside. There's a bit of wheel touching. Left, right, centre. The Mercedes, they're all been punched up. There goes Copy now into P2. And Nickton, big off there. Who was that in the background? That's Martin G. He's had a really bad mare of a race. He's down into dead last now. Racebook, who is actually working his way. He's actually having some serious network issues. That's probably what's going on. But the battles are still going on. Lemon there with Nicky going into turn 4. He ran really deep into that. Nicky gets caught out by it and ended up getting a little bit of touch and go between the two. Mizzo then recovers just about enough. Yorn and Buemels have gained out massively from this. And if you look at the amount of position gain, there's 3 positions for Copy, Buemels and Yorn. And then he got P4, 4 positions down, and more action further down the second Lesmos.
Yeah, there's a lot of action that's went on at the start. Martin G's had that little slip up. Does he have damage? No, he doesn't. and he looks like he is a lot quicker
Oh
than the
no! Sorry, Mizzo just pit maneuvered Bird. Bird has been sent through Ascari, and he's got no damage, but he has been severely affected by that one. I only just caught it as it happened, but look at this scrap all the way up towards. No, more contact. More cars going left, right, center. That's Lemon this time, who's managed to just catch that. I don't know how he did that, but that was a beautiful catch from his side of things. P12 is where he sits right now. You've got Brownie looking for an inside line on the Mercedes driver. Is he going to be able to get that all the way in towards turn one? He's going to have to be trying to slipstream all the way through. I think Lemon is going to lose this position as we come into the braking zone for turn one. 5-second time penalty for Copy for corner cutting. But no, actually, Lemon holds out. And here comes Yonti, look, in this battle for P12. Might take this away from him.
Yeah, this might be an interesting one because Martin G and Lemon both had a very unfortunate start, and that's not what you want.
Blue's had a big off there. He's run off onto the grass. Oh, he's brought himself back in. No damage on his car, but he's having some major offs. We have seen Nicky, who's gone into the pits. Justin's got a time penalty for a corner cut in. I think that was turn 4-5. Now we're obviously in the Lesmo section of the track. The times are going to be way out, at least for now, until we get to the start of lap 3. And every driver that crosses the line will get their time updated, and we will be able to see who is where and what. Right now, though, the one thing you can see is that the Williams drivers are leading 1 and 2. And you don't need necessarily measuring tape to work out how far ahead at Nick Turn is. The answer is very.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with you that Nick decent gap. He absolutely pulling ahead. He's got 2.9 seconds gap and Copy's under pressure from Wemmels. So this is the position that Ed Nickton wants.
Yep, and I mean, if you look at Buemels right now, he's all over for it. He's going for the move. He's not going to get it done there, though. That's a guarantee. It's a Copy. He's going to stay in P3 at least through turns 1 and 2. Buemels gets a pretty decent exit, but so does Copy. Mizzo getting a 3-second time penalty. We're going to look a little bit further down the field because there's still lots of scrapping going on as Lemon and Gooby are going toe-to-toe. But look at Beaker, by the way. P5 right now. He started P10. So 5 places gained for him. That's really solid stuff from him. Lemon's trying to go around the outside here of Gooby. Gooby is going to be tied up against the wall in towards turn 4. He's going to have to surrender this position. Otherwise, he runs the risk of having a bit of contact or a tail slapper like that. Big bump over there. That's sent him into the moon almost. That's a really big little roller coaster ride. That's a Red Bull in the background there. That's Bird having a big wobble. He's caught it though. He's still going okay. But yeah, his tyres are looking pretty hot. So he's going to have to worry about that in a short while. Martin G has gone off track. Big contact there. That's a collision with Just Chillin'. Is Just Chillin' okay? He seems to have lost out a few places, but I don't think he has any damage. Maybe on the left side. Let me see when the camera rearranges, which is now. Can't see it. I think he does have damage. He's actually got a Red Bull there. Marco, yes, he does have an end plate missing on that left side. There's going to be a dive into the inside of the Ascari. It's a good run, but Just Chillin' has been caught out. Marco is through. He has full wing. But Marco's had a big wobble there. He's already in the grass, though. That's not good. He's lost out to Blue. So lots of mistakes being made for the drivers. But look at Jorn. He's there with Buemels going side by side on the home straight in the run-up towards turn 1. I think Jorn might be able to get this. He's going to be the one to brake later. You can guarantee that one. He's going to push Buemels all the way over to the inside. The outside on the grass a little bit. But he has managed to keep that together. Beaker cuts that corner quite severely. Just Chilling gets a speeding penalty. 5 seconds, in fact, which he will have added at the end of the race if he doesn't need to pit again, which if it's going to dry out, he will absolutely need to. And Copy still doing well in P2.
Yeah, but in Nickton, he didn't really have... Well, he was rapid in quali, so... He's 5.5 seconds in front of Copy, and he was rapid in quali, so... Just throwing down the pace he has, and it's definitely working so far.
He's doing really well. Oh, 5-second penalty for corner cutting there to Martin G. He's had a really rough race. Remember, he started, I think P3 was it? He started really high up, or P4 even, and he's just had a rough ride since that moment forward. However, Beaker is actually having the time of his life right now. Up there in P5, he has got Mizzo on the back end of him. Mizzo, who did start in P1, had a really rough start. It didn't quite work out for him the beginning of the race. He's had to do everything he can to sort of bring himself back into this. I mean, Gooby is doing well. He's obviously currently P10. He's actually fighting with Yonti for P9. Nick 10 setting the fastest lap of the session, but ultimately that's going to get changed later on as we see tyres change over when we go to the dries. Tyres are, oh, Yonti's made a mistake. Here comes Gooby. We are on lap 5, so DRS has been enabled for a few laps now. This is not going to be a surprise to him that he's about to get past. But bear in mind, it's wet, so there is no DRS. Hi, Perfect. Go on.
Yeah, so with no DRS, that does mean that obviously wet setups have more front end. That does mean that drivers don't really need to worry about people behind in the straight line.
No, they really don't. I'm actually looking for where Racebook is. He's on the home straight. He's currently glitching about. I don't think that's actually him. I think he's desynced for me. Where's Racebook for you?
Racebook is currently in
P where?
P14.
Okay, well he's doing well then. So yeah, Racebook is desynced with me. There was a lot of moment there between Beaker and Mizzo through the second Lesmo. I mean, Beaker is still doing really well to stay where he is, but Mizzo's gone for a full send. That is not how you take that corner. Gets a penalty as a result for it. He's going to cut that one as well. Beaker is doing well to hold him back, but Mizzo is just getting really aggressive unnecessarily. I don't know if he's just desperate to pass Beaker or what, but he has to maintain that. He cannot put himself in a scenario where he's just going to lose out as a result. Get the cutback, get the pace out of the corner, get the DRS, well, when it goes dry again, and just maintain the slipstream, or even just dump all your ERS like right now. Mode 4. Easily in a position where he can just go for it, but he's going to have to sit in that the toe of Beaker and then just get a better exit through 1 and 2, because Beaker's been struggling through here. Just keep an eye out as he comes into it. He's had to take it so slowly. You can see how Mizzo just caught him there because of how gently... Oh, Beaker does also have wing damage on the left side. Here's Mizzo again, still fighting in mind. G getting a 5-second pit lane penalty for speeding, and Mizzo might get the job done here. Beaker's trying to hold him. Out to the outside, Beaker's come wide, Mizzo gets caught with it, but no damage between the two, but they are going to be braking all the way towards turn 4, they're going to go side by side all the way in. Mizzo's got his nose ahead, he's going to be going off into the gravel. There's the Mercedes there of Lemon. I'm not sure who's at fault more than anyone, because on the inside of turn 4, it was Mizzo pushing Beaker, and then on the exit of turn 5, it was Beaker pushing Mizzo, and Mizzo did end up losing out. Lemon right here, swapping places with Mizzo effectively. And again, still no DRS, but still tons of opportunity. Still tons of racing left to do.
Yeah, a lot left of the race, so it will be interesting for these drivers throughout the race, because strategy can be a main thing in the wet the time you pit, because you need to be cautious in these kind of conditions, because it can start pouring it down. So it will be interesting to see what people do.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing that everybody's going to be sort of focused on and worrying about in the minute as well. Mizzo's managed to bring himself back into this battle a little bit. It's 3 tenths, now 5 tenths between those. Actually, Lemon is looking seriously fast now. Coming out of Parabolica. He's right here on the back of Beaker. Beaker is definitely going to be losing this position unless something drastically goes wrong for Lemon. They're going to be side by side coming into turn 1, but Beaker knows he's just going to have to surrender this one. Oh, big shunt there from Beaker into the back of Lemon though, but that's actually cost him more than it did Lemon. And now Mizzo, as a result of that, because he didn't get any impact at all from that little incident, he's going to be able to just go around the outside of Beaker. And here we go, one more time into turn 4. We saw last lap it was a little bit more aggressive, and again Mizzo goes deep into turn 4. That's Beaker cutting the corner again. Multiple type warnings. This is just getting messy. Oh, Beaker almost gets sent off into the wall, and Mizzo in the same scenario. They just got intertwined a little bit, and these guys have definitely got their elbows out right now.
Yeah, this is great driving from pretty much all of them, and it's amazing content to see all of these drivers with their elbows out, trying to make up as many positions, fighting to keep that place on track, because it can be crucial later on.
It really can. I mean, Rainbow's about to get involved in this as well. I don't know how big his elbows are feeling, but Beaker's going to be feeling a little bit aggressive and a little bit defensive at the same time. So we'll see what he can do and how he can defend against Rainbow. I mean, ultimately, like we said, we still don't have DRS because the track is still too wet. We have 8 laps done so far of this 27-lap race, and ultimately we're not yet in a position where we can even think about dry tyres. So whilst they are scrapping, they are defending as hard as they can. They do still have to think about their tyre wear, because they will end up finding themselves in a similar position as JC and Martin G have, where they've had to go into the pits change the wing and get some new boots on, and ultimately that is not good.
Yeah, and it's definitely not the position that you want to be in right now, with the track evolving, with it drying up a little bit. You don't really want to be pitting this early.
No, you really, really don't. And Nick Turn is still obviously race leader with 9.3 second gap to his teammate behind. That gap is just getting bigger and bigger. It's not getting shorter even slightly. Whereas Brownie is currently gaining on Gooby at the minute. He's still trying to take that final points position away. P11 is where he sits. Where is Racebook currently for you?
Racebook is currently in P15, so he has lost one position.
So, yeah, not good at all then. Not good at all. Okay, keep an eye out then for everyone else on the circuit. Gooby is trying to bring himself closer to Yonti. Again, he's not really going to have a lot he can do about this. It's a half a second gap between Yonti and Gooby, and then same for Brownie, and then same for Bird. So they are all there, although Bird's just got himself a 3-second time penalty, just trying to close that gap down a little bit. Whoa! Gooby almost binned it completely, coming through Ascari. This is going to benefit Brownie even just slightly. Brownie actually has yellow fuel warning lights. This actually could... Oh, okay, so Brownie carried a lot of pace in towards Parabolica. He's going to gain a fair bit out of that. He's got a lot better exit than Gooby did, that's for sure. And Gooby had a big wobble there. This could be Brownie slipstreaming him all the way in towards turn 1. I don't think he's going to get the job done here, but I think when we get out of turn 1 and 2, providing Brownie has a really good exit, Gooby is going to be a sitting duck, especially if he takes a tight line like that. He's bounced the curbs. Brownie is there. He's a bit gentle. Oh, we've lost Martin G. Sector 2. Big crash then.
Yeah, he had an unfortunate start to the race, and we expected him to be up there with the other drivers, and it's really unfortunate to see him out this early.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's sad. I mean, he's had a really rough race from the beginning. He did go for a wet setup, remember, and it didn't work out for him. Clearly, he's had a lot of issues regardless, whether it be his fault or not his fault. You know, not quite worked out for him at all, but he's given everything. He did really well in the qualifying, managed to get a solid P4 result, just not quite as quick as, say, like Lemon and Nicta and Mizzo, and they chucked in some insane lap time pace. Rainbow, though, still attacking Beaker, but still no change yet, whereas Bird is actually right there on the back of that Ferrari of Brownie, and Brownie's actually doing well to get on the back of Gooby. This could actually be Gooby losing 2 places. Again, there's no DRS, but there's going to be so much slipstream available to Bird. I think this could benefit massively for Bird here.
Yeah, this could definitely work for Bird, and Bird does want it to work for him. He's currently sitting down in 12th position, but he has 3 drivers ahead of him, and he will be getting stream. But look at his ERS; it is just depleting by the second.
Yeah, he's really running low. He's just trying his best to just stay close to this battle because he knows there's a points battle. Bird's gone deep into turn 1. And he somehow pulled that off. Bird with this sensational overtake down the inside. I thought he'd made a big mistake. I think even he thought he made a big mistake. But that ended up being the move of the weekend. Absolutely beautiful. Breaking it into turn 1. Didn't lock up at all. Just maintained it right the way through and just sent it straight in. Brownie had no idea what was going on. That was it. Position gain.
Yeah, and that's what we want to see from these drivers. And that's what we expect, and that's what's get delivered.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I'm not sure if Racebug's in the pits for you, but he's showing us in the pits for me. Bird
yes, he is.
Bird is still fighting with Gooby now, in a position where he could actually get this job done. I mean, look at Gooby's ERS versus Bird's. I mean, in terms of the amount used, it's tiny, but Bird is going for it in towards Ascari. It's going to be a very tight line to do, and he's actually had a lot of contact there between him and Gooby. Gooby's been rotated, but he's just caught it, sorry. And yeah, he's lost a position to Brown. He's lost a lot of time to Brown. I think Bird maybe in a... I'm not sure if that was Bird's fault or not. It kind of gave me the impression that Gooby ran a bit wide as a result. I'm not sure. It's always so tough to call when it's in those sort of scenarios. They're so tight, so tense, and you know, a little margin of error is all you've got. And Gooby found that out the hard way. He's fallen down now into P12. But Bird now into a points position, only just over a second behind Yonti. As it stands, Bird is flying.
Bird indeed is flying, and he's definitely happy with his performance so far, and indeed he should be.
Yeah, absolutely. Yon, though, actually gaining on Copy. 6 tenths is the gap between him and Copy. I mean, yeah, it's just dropped a little bit there, but that can change at the drop of a hat, especially when you get into the slipstream, and especially when you get into any sort of dry conditions when you get the DRS available. And Nickton, though, that was what I was saying earlier. He's been in a position where he's been getting penalties, although he does have quite a substantial gap to be able to cover that penalty and more. So you could even get a few more of those and still finish up race winner. But it's sad to see that he's in that scenario where he is, you know, getting these penalties. He needs to just iron out those creases a little bit. If Lemon was able to maintain the pace and keep himself alongside Nickton, that would have been a P1 that was lost for him. He wouldn't been able to be so lackadaisical about it and just going about how he wants to. Rainbow is still coming up to the back of Beaker, and ultimately we still have 16 laps to go.
Yeah, and 16 more laps of action with these drivers driving brilliantly. It nicked him with a 12-second lead. It looks right now that he's wrapped it up.
Well, Rainbow's going into turn 1, had to back out a little bit earlier than necessarily wanted to, because I think he was going to try and send it on Beaker, but I think he was a bit worried he was going to end up in trouble. He obviously had a qualifying ban at the beginning of this race, so that's kind of affected him a little bit. We are seeing Lemon in the pits. He's going to be the first of the drivers to pit that hasn't had wing damage or had to pit for any other reason. So he's going to come out of the pit lane in P13. Just sort of thinking about how Lemon's going to be able to pull himself properly back into this. He's got a lot of work to do, really, in order to get himself into a high points position. I think he's still going to finish in the points. Just where is my real worry?
Yeah, and that is going to be the worry. Where he's looking to finish in the points, and as you said, where's he going to finish in the points? It's a difficult question, and I think we will see him trying his best, though.
Oh, 100%. There's no doubt about it. This is going to be the Lemon show, I think. I mean, we saw Bird do that beautiful overtake earlier, and he's currently actually in a position where he's sizing up Yonti already, which is beautiful to see. Again, I'm told actually that the rain is going to be staying pretty much throughout the entirety of this race, maybe even to the end of this race, which is, good for some, bad for others. Oh, Bird was looking for a line there on Yonti. It didn't work out for him. He had to back out, but it's good to see that he's seen these opportunities, and then even if he's just going for it as a fake or not, he's still putting the pressure onto Yonti. Yonti's now got his eyes locked in his mirrors, trying to just see, oh, what do I do here? How do I defend against this? Bird's just going to try and do what he did earlier onto Brownie, which is another send it move. Yonti has to go wide as a result. Does actually have wing damage on that right side, does Yonti. Bird couldn't quite pull off the same sensational move he did on Brownie earlier, but you can see this is a trademark move that Bird's starting to pull off now.
Yeah, you may as well keep that trademark on it, but he does need to start conserving some ERS. Struggling compared to be fair, quite a few people are struggling. But he is going to have to stop being careful, Bird, because he's running dangerously low as he does make his way past Yonti. He's definitely on for a good race right now.
I think Bird might actually finish a lot higher up than we think. I think his ERS levels are really low, but honestly, I think he doesn't have to worry. He doesn't have to use Mode 4 to defend with, right? Because there's no DRS. It's just purely slipstream, and that's it. He's been using Mode 4 a lot because he has the opportunity to. Like now, though, he's Mode 4, and yeah, he's going to be bringing himself into the single digits to try and just sort of gain some time. He's gone defensive in towards Parabolica. Yonti knew he was going to try that. That's actually going to allow Bird to... Bird's going to run a bit deep there. It would have allowed Yonti to properly go for it, but I get the impression that they're coming into the pits. Yep, Bird's in. You can see Copy's in, Yon's in, Beaker's in. Everybody except Nickton in the top 6 is in the pits. Nicky chooses not to, stays out, has done 12 laps on these intermediates. Did obviously pit on the very early stages of this race. But there's Blue still out there as well. We have seen a lot of the back runners also coming in. Who's going to get the benefit of the jump though? Oh, look at Yon actually scrapping there with Lemon. Oh, there was a little bit of a nudge there between the two, but no damage at all. Yon manages to get that position back on him, but Lemon is not the driver to give up. He's going to stay here with the Toro Rosso driver. A little bit of nudge there from Lemon into Yon. We need to be careful as we're coming towards turn 4. I think he's going to full on send it. No, he's decided to back out, but there's going to be a little bit of a touch again. Nothing too severe, but Jon will feel a little bit destabilized because on this track it's going to be feeling very icy. And look at the exit Lemon got again. He has to back out because Jon's just driving the widest car, and that's completely okay. But Lemon has to find a way past him.
Yeah, Lemon's going to have to try and find his way past Jon. Jon isn't going to give... Lemon's sitting in 5th position. He's going to be looking for the move, but how easily will it be given? I said that Jorn's not going to give it easy to him, but will he be able to do it nice and quickly?
Well, I mean, honestly, I don't know. It's going to be a really rough ride for Jorn from this moment forward. I think I get the impression he's in for the long haul now, which I say in for the long haul like it's that very difficult. He's already pit after the halfway mark, so there's still, a great job for him to do what he's doing, but it's more the fact of now that he's going to have to worry about everybody around him. You're just Chillen getting another penalty. I mean, he's currently sat P14 as it stands. Yeah, he's 8/10 behind the driver in front of him, who's 8/10 behind Gooby, but still, we're in a scenario where this could work out pretty bad for just Chillen if he doesn't find some pace all of a sudden. And I think with the fact that everyone was of the opinion it was going to dry out at some point, those that have gone for the dry setups are the ones that are struggling. The ones that aren't struggling are the likes of Bird, who's just absolutely flying right now.
Yeah, Bird is absolutely rapid, and that's what we like to see right now, because he's going really quick on the stint. Bird currently sitting in 8th position. Obviously, he is losing a bit of time, but he has conserved a bit of ERS, and he is currently sitting with 37% ERS. So he is trying to catch on to the back of Mizzo with 3.5 second gap.
So I think the average pit lane time here is 19 seconds. So like now, look at Nictor. I think he's in a position where he's actually given himself a free pit stop, effectively. I want to see where he comes out. Where is Buemos? Buemos is so far back, as at Nicton is just going in now, getting his tyres changed. Buemos, who's sat P2, hasn't even got to the Parabolica yet. At Nicton will come out and still have a huge gap to the driver behind. Let's see, when the intervals update, there's Buemos. He's just finished the Parabolica. As at Nicton is entering turn 1. So, yeah, make that what you wish. That's going to be about an 18 second. Oh, it's dropped even more. Sorry, a 12 second, 10 second now. Wow, Buemos is really flying. But the gap is still 10 seconds. That's huge.
Yeah,
Gooby
that
and
is
Yonti.
a...
Sorry, Gooby and Yonti are actually scrapping as well through the Parabolica. Gooby is now ahead, but Yonti's going to be straight back at him. No slipstream was available to Gooby, so he's just going to be a sitting duck trying to defend now in the running towards turn 1. At some point, they're going to even out in terms of the speed, and it's right here, and that's where you're going to be seeing Gooby trying to stick to the inside. No late braking. Oh, a little bit of touch there between the two. No damage, though. They've actually kept it really solid throughout the entirety, and Gooby gets a beautiful exit from turn 2. Back up into P13 he goes, and immediately he's going to be feeling great. Here comes Yonti, though, looking around the outside onto him. Coming up towards turn 4, I'm not sure how they're going to take this one because Gooby's still there, still alongside of him. They went cleanly through 1 and 2. There's a little bit of a nudge there between Yonti and Gooby, but Yonti gets the job done. He is now back up into P13, and Gooby has to worry about the car behind him because that is a very, very interested Just Chillen right now.
Yeah, Just Chillen, he will be looking to make... will he be able to make it? We saw Gooby, you said that he's going to have to be looking behind him. But if you look just in front of Gooby, there's a Yonti. And it is going to be interesting, but hats off to Rainbow. He's made up 11 positions.
Yeah, 11 positions is definitely something to shout about. And the one thing that I think is shouting is Just Chillen's tyres. He's 12 laps in on these intermediate tyres. He did obviously have contact earlier on in the race, and that was... it was whatever about it. He had wing damage, had to get the wing replaced, and that cost him a hell of a lot of time. That's why he's so far down as a result. He will probably need to pit soon, though. I think maybe give it one more lap and then just pit, but then again, he's now putting himself in a position where he's going to have to do 11 laps, 10 laps. If he pits at the end of this one and then decides to go on another one, then yeah, he will have to do that. Now, Kai, I've been asked to make you aware. I am experiencing it as well. I thought it was just my end, but no, it is... your microphone seems to keep cutting out partway through your sentence. I don't know if it's just that it's not, if it's like not detecting your sensitivity, or maybe it's doing a bit too much from peaking. But you're like partway through a sentence and then suddenly you just cut out. We don't get to hear what you finished saying. which is a shame because you've got some really solid stuff. Marco, though, made a big oof through the final corner, lost the back end, went off into the wall. Right end plate damage, into the pits he goes, and I wouldn't be surprised if Marco just says enough is enough. But he's staying in.
Yeah, he is staying out, and it's interesting to see that he's staying out. He's came into the pits now, he's changed some tyres, and he's came back out again. So, yeah, he hasn't retired from the session yet. In Nickton, Nickton now has a 10-second lead. I'm guessing he's had a pit stop, though.
Well, he's pit earlier on. Obviously, he's done 2 laps now, and that is what it is. But now you're going to be... If you're in Marco's shoes, by the way, you pretty much just sat constantly getting blue flag. He's got Mizzo coming up behind him right now, looking to do an overtake. Just purely just get past him. Marco will stay out of the way. He's a very clean driver. We know that. Everyone is here. But, well, after some of the incidents I've seen, you could argue otherwise. But Just Chillin's actually getting involved on Gooby. Gooby's actually sending it a little bit deep in towards turn 1. Just Chillin gives a little tickle there into the back of the racing point. We'll see if anything changes as we come through turn 3. But ultimately, I don't think that's going to change. I think we're going to be looking at the sort of Beaker-Nicky area of the grid, where we're going to be seeing Beaker sit there, P11. He's 1.1 seconds behind Brownie, who's got Nicky, though, chasing him down. I think Beaker's in trouble here. And these are two very sort of determined drivers. We'll see how that pans out.
Yeah, and we will see how it pans out, because it will be interesting watching these drivers. As you said, Nicky, he's doing a pretty decent job right now. He's currently sitting in P11, but he is challenging for a points position.
Yeah, indeed. All right, Nicky, fallen a fair bit and lost a fair few tenths there. He's not quite as close to Beaker as he would have liked to be, but, you know, P10 is still very much there. You can literally see it right in front of you. It's not over by any stretch of the imagination. But just a quick update, where is Racebook for you?
He is currently sitting in a P16.
Oh, that's exactly where he is on my screen. So perfect. Everything's in perfect order. Except he's still desync for me. Beaker is actually closing on the back of Brownie. Actually, I don't know what's happened to Bird all of a sudden, but he suddenly just lost the pace. He was feeling absolutely incredible on the previous set of tyres. Now he's not feeling so great. I don't know if he just got a little bit... Oh, Gooby. Yeah, he's ran really deep there through turns 1 and 2. You can see he's went straight over to the other wall. And I think ultimately, yeah, he's got a time penalty, but he has kept his wing intact. He's outside of the points. He may as well just finish the race. He's still got 8 laps to go. 9 if you include the one they're on right now. And Beaker and Nicky going toe-to-toe. Nicky's managed to get round Beaker. Beaker's going to look for the inside line into the second Lesmo. Contact between the two. Beaker loses the back end. I think it was ambitious for him to try the inside line there. It's not going to work out, but Nicky is in P11. And I'm not sure now what is going to be done about this. Race bug is Racebook stuck anywhere for you?
Racebook.
Is he still P16?
Yeah, he's still on P16 for me.
Okay. On my screen, he was parked on a Scary. I'm not sure what happened there, but well, clearly the desync is playing havoc with us. But we can ignore that because Lemon has done a really good job to get himself back up into the points, the high-end points positions. But P4 right now, actually in a position where he could take the final podium spot, and that would be really something to shout about, given the fact that he had such a rough start. Here comes Brownie on Bird. Bird's got the defensive line through turn 1. Needs to make sure it's nice and tight throughout, and he has done that. Get a good exit, Bird, because if you don't, Brownie will attack, and he's got a Nicky behind him as well, who's happy to snap any position away should you present it to him. And luckily, Bird did get the exit that he needed, and Brownie will stay P9.
Yeah, Brownie will stay P9. He's currently sitting in P9. Yep, with 7 laps left to go. Brownie, he'll be chasing down Bird. Will it be interesting? Will he be able to make a move on Bird? I'm just going to check over the penalties to see who's got a penalty.
Okay, you do that. Meanwhile, we're going to look at this battle still for P8. As Bird is currently, he's holding Brownie back. Nicky's just trying to do something about this and work down Brownie somehow. Brownie's actually doing really well overall. He does still have yellow fuel warning light, which does tell me that he's going to be struggling come towards the end of this Grand Prix. But I mean, I'm watching Nicky at the minute. He is somehow working Brownie down. I didn't think he was going to be able to. Oh, that's a big late break there from him. A little bit of contact between him and Brownie, but Brownie's safe. Nicky is not. Nicky's now in trouble. He's no damage on him, but actually Lemon manages to get past Yawn as well. That's into turn 1 and 2. Yellow flag there ahead. I think that might be Marco who's had another issue, it sounds like. He's had a really rough race, to be honest. He's not quite worked out for him. The wet conditions did not play into his favour at all, but Brownie and Bird, they were going into it towards turn 1 and 2. Bird manages to do his usual turn 1 selfies, and he's throwing it down there. And Brownie's just holding on to it.
Yeah, Brownie is holding on to this one, just checking over the penalties. We do notice that Copy has a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. JC has a 3-second. Mizzo has a 3-second.
Hold that thought 1 second, because Bird and Brownie have just gone toe-to-toe, and Brownie's managed to get through. And then also Nicky's there as well, down the inside. He's managed to get that position done on Bird. So Bird loses 2 places in 2 corners, and Beaker might want to make that a 3rd if he had his own way about it. 4/10 is the gap between him and Bird. Bird has got a much better slipstream, and Bird is not someone to back out of these sort of scenarios when he's got the opportunity to attack. He does seem to come to life in these conditions, and ultimately Nicky, yes, he sat P9, but Bird will look to do the turn 1 dive again, and I think he might actually pull it off unless Nicky can spot it and stop it from happening.
Yeah, Nicky is going to be, obviously, he's joined really early, but he's chasing down the back of Brownie, and we're talking about Brownie here. A very, very quick driver. And Nicky, new to the league, he's glitching a bit on my screen. He's chasing down the back of Brownie, and it's only a couple of attempts in them.
Oh, Beaker and Bird are going side by side in towards 1 and 2. There was a lot of elbows out there, but Bird still maintains P10 just about. Somehow Beaker got a really good exit through the final corner. And already look at Beaker. He's coming right into Bird now. He's going to look for the outside line. This is going to be a really tough one to do. Bird's maybe gone a little bit too deep, and he has. Beaker's got the line, but he's had to worry about Bird coming back on the track. And yes, Bird gets a penalty about it, but Beaker has not got the job done. He's lost a fair bit of time there. It's still within the 1 second margin. Not that we've got DRS. Oh, big wobble there from Beaker. But second Lesmo. Brownie looking a bit out of shape. Bird is going to be trying to bring himself into this a little bit more, but Beaker had a moment there where we thought that he might get that position, get himself back into the points. 4 laps remaining of this Grand Prix. Still tons of time to do something about it, but he has to get on with it. And Nicky's sadly left the session. So despite moving up that position, he's going to need a re-invite. And I think he's going to lose these places now. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we are going to have to wait and see. That's really unfortunate to see that. But let's see what's happening up at the front. Well, nothing's happening to Igniton, because he's got a 12-second lead even after pit stops.
Yeah, he's just flying, but Brownie is passing Nicky in towards turn 1. Obviously, Nicky's the AI. Oh no, this is going to go badly because Bird is going deep in towards turn 1, but he's actually kept it very tidy. Turn 1 seems to be the master turn for him. He's actually alongside Brownie on the exit of turn 2, and it's going to be a run all the way through turn 3. Bird is going to have the better line because he's got the tighter one, so he's going to be able to get in so much time from this. Brownie's just trying to get something out of this. Yeah, Brownie's managed to keep himself ahead, but Bird's sending it in towards turn 4. Brownie's lost control. He's lost it big style on the corner of turn 4-5. He's really parked it there. Didn't see if there was any contact between the two, but I don't think there was. It looked like it was just under braking, and Brownie rotated the car a bit too much. Bird is actually side by side with Brownie's teammate. Beaker looking for the inside in towards the second Lesmos. They've managed to keep it clean, and Bird back up into P8. This is getting tense with a few laps to go.
Yeah, this is getting really tense. We see battles in the mid-pack. It's really unfortunate that he has disconnected. I think it was Nicky. But Beaker and Bird, we're seeing a good battle from these two. And Beaker is in the points, and I think he'd be happy with this position if it stays like this.
This is one of the best races I've seen Beaker do pretty much all season long. I mean, and yeah, he's P9, but in terms of the fire that's within Beaker, in terms of the drive that he's got, this is his favourite track. We've said that earlier, but this is the area where he's actually been able to deliver it. I'm looking at him go at it right now on Bird again in towards turn 1, but you don't want to give Bird the inside line because he's much better on the brakes than pretty much anyone else in this Grand Prix. Although Beaker says, I will see your turn 1 braking and I will raise you a better one. And Beaker's in a P8 and he's already built up a gap as well. Bird just couldn't get the exit down at all. Beaker, that was a beautiful outside overtake in turn 1.
Yeah, that was an absolutely just judged the breaking point perfectly and managed to get them.
Your mic keeps cutting out again. I don't know if you've if it's just that it's too far away from you or what, but yeah, you just keep cutting out again. Yeah, I heard you say Beaker had amazing, and that was it. I couldn't hear anything else. It's sad because you're such a good commentator as well, and we're missing half of it. Mizzo though is there with Rainbow. Big exit through Ascari means that Rainbow is going to be under threat here. 3/10 being the gap between the two at the minute. Coming in towards Parabolica is going to look to do anything about this. Rainbow's nice and tidy. I mean, to think that Rainbow started so far back. Look at the position changes. He's gained 11 places to bring himself into P6 right now. Yeah, he's not really looking at taking P5 away from Copy. Unless Copy's got some huge penalties that I don't know about. But still, P6, much better than we expected given his starting position. And ultimately, he's looking pretty hot right now.
Yeah, he's looking really good right now. That's what we want to see from him. Obviously, we know he has the pace and he is showing in this race. Beaker currently in P8. He's 4/10 gap to Bird behind. Do you think that Beaker will stay in front of Bird? That will be the question.
Potentially, but I'm telling you, it's not going to end without a fight. And JC and Blue are fighting right now through 1 and 2. They are still side by side as they come towards turn 3. This is exceptional. And I'm not sure if Blue's actually going to be able to hold this line, as JC just seems to have a little bit more pace in the running towards turn 4. But Blue does have the inside for turn 4. So let's see if he can maintain it. Is he going to run deep? It looks a bit deep, but he's kept it tidy, not actually running into the gravel. So Blue holds JC back for a little while longer.
Yeah, JC is doing quite good. He's having a battle with Blue in front, but Blue just managing to hold him back right now.
He's trying his best. Mizzo holding onto Rainbow, and Nikki and Brownie swap places. I don't know if Nikki has actually got back into this. I don't think he has. I think it's still an AI. There it is. So sad times for Nikki. Unfortunately, won't be able to hold out his points positions. He was fighting for P8. Oh, Mizzo and Rainbow actually, they've been fighting through turn 1. Mizzo's ahead now, and Rainbow now is going to be able to sit on the back of him as we are on the penultimate lap. We only have the next one to go, and then it's going to be job done. Whereas Bird is still looking for Beaker. No changes. This exit is kind of important now because you need to get the move done on the home straight starting off lap 27. If you could do it, that's pretty much a done deal here. There's almost no way he can come back at you. That won't stop Beaker from trying though, and it's not going to stop Bird from looking at it in towards turn 4. He's all over the shop because he just doesn't want to hit Beaker in any way, and he's managed to avoid the contact. But that's also cost him a fair bit of time. It's not working well for him. He is going to be struggling from this moment forward. Back end tail out, kicking in Lesmo 1, now Lesmo 2. He's looking a bit better than Beaker was, that's for sure. Beaker had a little bit of a off there, nothing too major. He didn't even really need to do any sort of opposite lock to catch it too well, but this is about to get about as entertaining as you could possibly get now because Beaker is under threat as the leaders have started the final lap. Beaker's ran seriously deep through Ascari. Here comes Bird closing in on Beaker. Rainbow's actually chasing Mizzo now as well, and he's going to be having the slipstream available to him. Mode 5 is on that Toro Rosso. The red fuel warning light has kicked in. He's gaining on Mizzo. This is the area of attack now. He doesn't have to do it all here, but he has to make sure the exit of this is perfect. This is where the whole race is won or lost here. I mean, P6 or P7 in this case is won or lost, because if he makes even slightly a mistake, Mizzo will run away with this, and I think Mizzo has done enough to protect himself. Bird has not been able to do the turn 1 dive that he's very well known for now, and Beaker has held on to P8. Can Bird do anything about it?
Yeah, and it's the final lap right now in Nixon has sealed this race, and that all happened on the first lap. people say you can't win the race on the first lap. Nickton just proved everyone wrong. But it looks like Wemmels is going to finish P2 from Lemon. Let's see the battles going on throughout the field, though. It's going to be Beaker and Chosen Bird. Chosen Bird makes a mistake, and that means that Beaker might have just pulled the gap that he needs. And it does look like as Nickton crosses the line and wins the race with a 15-second lead. Amazing race from Nickton.
Oh, Bird's made a mistake. No, he's lost it through Ascari. He has not been able to maintain it. There goes Yonti straight through, and the final points position was looking so good for him. Let's go. Oh, that was so close. I thought that Bird was about to kill Brownie there, but Brownie slips on by, and whilst it was so tense throughout that moment there, Brownie's life must have flashed before his eyes, and holy, that was close. Brownie, though, has a little bit of tongue slapper coming through in towards the final turn. This is for the final points position. Are penalties going to apply? No. The Ferraris will end up in the points positions. It'll be Beaker in P9 and Brownie in P10. And Bird, who had a huge off in the most sad way because he was looking so good. He was just so committed to getting that position on Beaker, and he lost it all right there. But that's how the cookie crumbles. But at Nickton, like you said, insane amounts of pace today. Not only did he do, I mean, he didn't get pole, you know, we could say that, but he did do incredibly well in the qualifying. Then come into the race, took off as soon as the lights went out. He just blew away, and that was it. You know, avoided all the disaster that was going on in the first opening laps. Managed to keep his entire car clean, and whilst P2, 3 and 4 all pitted, it allowed Boemels to just carry on and do what he's got to do. Holy, that was a Grand Prix and a half.
Woo, that was amazing driving from everyone.
So let's have a look at the rundown at the end of that Grand Prix. We know that Nickton has taken the win by quite a huge margin. He did get a penalty, but that's ultimately all it was. Boemels started P6, finishes P2, so really solid drive from Boemels there. Lemon, who did start P3, ends up finishing P3, but remember, he had a really rough first few laps. Ended up having to pit much earlier than he necessarily wanted to, and then ended up going all the way through to the end of the race and managed to just maintain the pace, take P3, jobs are good. And Jon getting P4 after starting P7, good drive from him. Copy ends up starting P5, ends up finishing P5. Then you have Rainbow, who started P17 and drove without a single penalty to take his Toro Rosso all the way through to P6. Mizzo there, who started on pole, gets a lot of penalties and ends up finishing out P7 as a result. Yonti, P8. Beaker, who you saw having a really good battle with Bird throughout the majority of that race, ends up finishing P9. Brownie, who almost collided with Bird on the very final lap, started P10, finished P10, and the best of the rest award goes to Blue. Nicky there, P12, Bird 13th, Just Chilling 14th, Racebook 15th, Marco 16th, and then your DNFs were Gooby and Martin G. Now, if I was to give a Driver of the Day award, it's got to be Rainbow. Managing to go from P17 to P6 and without a single penalty is just something of another level. So thank you everybody for tuning in for the Rwagnation League. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm sure you're all about to shoot away now to go and watch the official F1 qualifying. I'll be joining you as well very soon. But thank you, and we'll see you all next week for more.